Good morning, the Hollywood Times. Today we have the talented country music singer-songwriter David Tucker. Hey, David, how's it going?
How's it going, Judy? Thank you so much for having me on here.
It's going great here in Southern California. Where are you dialing in from?
I'm dialing in from here in Country Music City, Nashville, Tennessee.
Nashville. I'm
That's right.
really loving that background. What you got going on back there?
Yeah, this is my studio. This is my home studio. So this is where a lot of ideas come to life, and we track a lot of music, a lot of the songs, and things we do here and demos for other projects and stuff. So it's a cool little workspace here at the house.
I see it looks like a white guitar, maybe black, or
Yeah,
what's the story between those?
that's a white Telecaster. That's I used that actually in the music video for my single Lyin. But it's always been a good favorite of mine. I grew up a Brad Paisley fanatic, so he always played a Telecaster, so I had to get that. So and then over here it's a Strat. It's a Fender Stratocaster. And my other obsession was Keith Urban. You know, those two guys, Brad Paisley, Keith Urban, was my two influencers for guitar. So that's what Keith Urban plays. So I gotta have one of each, right?
That's very cool. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. And I heard you play several different instruments. What are they?
I play the piano, bass, acoustic guitar, electric, a lot of synth stuff, and I used to play a lot of saxophone. But I just kind of dabble in a lot of things in the producing world. It's kind of when I grew up, I was real young. My mom was the worship team leader at our church. She led the worship. My dad was a preacher, and so she kind of threw us on whatever was when needed to be played, me and my sister. So it was such a cool thing, just growing up learning different instruments. Kind of I just whatever I would touch, I just wanted to learn. And so over the years, here we are now. It's all kind of come together, and it makes it nice when I'm producing projects and stuff, and it makes it very, very handy.
So did you kind of grow up on gospel music as well?
Yeah, I did. I grew up with a lot of gospel music influence. And honestly, it didn't get a whole lot into more country until, middle school, high school. But yeah, gospel was a big influence, playing at church, playing a lot of different churches and stuff. And my mom used to travel and sing gospel music, and my father would preach and stuff. And so it was, they did that for a long time. And so it kind of, trickled down the line.
So what was the first country music song you remember hearing?
Oh, the first country music song, probably a Brad Paisley song. I remember the song like Then on it was more of like a ballad, Brad Paisley played that, and I was like, man, and I went to my first country concert when I was a senior in high school. Somebody got me some tickets to a country show for my senior graduation gift, and so I went to a concert, and I actually got to watch Lady Antebellum, and it was when I felt that feeling, I was like, country music's it. That's where I got to be.
And so here you are today with your first single, Lyin.
Yeah.
So that's coming out March 26th, right?
March 26th. I'm excited. It's 2 days away.
Yay! We got you
Right.
just in time. So let's talk about that song. First of all, I wanted to tell you, do you know who you sound like?
Who's that? I'm
David Tucker. You
David
sound
Tucker.
just like him.
And it's weird that you say that. There's some resemblance, I think, there.
Yeah, you kind of look like him.
Didn't think about that.
No, I was listening to your song and I'm thinking, hey, we always like to say, because you might sound like someone that's cool, but you sound like you, a very unique voice. I love that song.
I really appreciate that. Over the past 4 to 5, 6 years, living in Nashville and commuting before, it's like that was something I really wanted to try to enhance. I wanted, people always say you got to come up with your own thing, you got to do your own thing, you got to stick out. And we recorded lots of demos over the years, and I wrote tons of songs, and I kept feeling like I was in the same lane as a lot of people, which is a great lane for several people, but there was something I wanted to find. And I think with everyone who's helped me really create this sound of music and style, it's really kind of took its own path, which years ago, I was like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to find a different avenue? And it's like I thank God every day that here we are today, and people like you, recognize it, and it means a lot to me.
So did you write the song all by yourself, or did you have a co-writer?
So yeah, I actually wrote this with two of my best friends. And one's my producer, Jake Saggy, and Quint Collins, and those are two of my ride or die good friends. And we started writing a lot of songs together a couple years ago, and that was actually one of the first few we wrote together. And it was a true story, And I remember coming in the room that day and just venting to them about it. We always, we'll sit down, have a little therapy session before. We were always talking about what's going on, and I remember it was a story I was just telling them, and we wrote it, just how it was. So
So it's based on something that you went through.
yeah, it's something, I went through, and it's nice when you have, you write with lots of different people when you come to Nashville. There's a big, thing for co-writing, and same, in LA and stuff, and it it's so nice when you find your crew. You can write a lot of times with so many people, and you may not just find that connection. But when I met Jake and Quint, after being friends and actually starting to work together, there was a chemistry there between us that they fueled off of my energy, and they helped enhance the things I wanted to say better. And so and since then we really just, I feel like, started to get on a roll with good things. And so it's like it's been a long time coming, but I'm so excited that it's finally coming to the world.
So, and then the video, was it filmed there in Nashville? Did you produce it?
Yeah, good buddy of mine, Dalton Snedden with DS Creatives here in Nashville. He has been a good friend of mine for a while as well, and does a lot of great video, film, photography work for lots of country music artists and pop artists. And so we actually filmed it here in Nashville. So a few different places that we went to, up on the mountains, Twin Peaks, and down by the river. And there's a bunch of cool scenery. I'm all about nature. I love to hike. I love to be outdoors. I love to take in God's creation, and so getting to shoot my first film music video with that being a part was really, it just felt right.
Yeah, I understand you like vintage cars. Did you have any cars or trucks in your video?
Yeah, we actually had this old like 1970 Jeep.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like a super old school, like chop top, there's no top on it, old glass windshield, folds down.
wow.
And it was a friend of mine who helped us get it. And it was so cool to be able to use that, and just, I love old school. I've always felt like I was an old soul, and so I enjoy the older things, and so I thought it was pretty neat to do a more retro look with an old Jeep, and just capture that moment, them driving back to Texas and stuff. And it's just, it's so cool when you can see, you hear a song, you write a song, and then you watch it come to life with a video. And that's like, and when you see it come to life, you're like, wow, this is a real thing, like, and I want people to relate to that, and, just be able to really feel compatible with things that they're going through, and things that I've been through, and, vice versa.
So this was your first experience with doing a video. So, how was it? Like you said, it's seeing your song come to life. What did that feel like?
Well, it felt like it was about 10 degrees below zero, because it was freezing cold up on those mountains. We shot it. No, it was so cool. The experience in itself. It's so different when you're being on camera and stuff, and really not have to to portray that part just like it happened. Um, Reliving those moments of sadness and doubt and hurt, but also reliving the moments of like, man, I'm so happy with you, like, I'm so happy with you next to me. And so, going through those replaying those old memories again and things like that, it's kind of weird, in a way. But to see it come to life, and to let other people, experience that, what I've, gone through, it's just, it's cool for me. And I love seeing people's reactions off of it, and just knowing that they can, be there with it as well. But it was such a cool thing, like I said, though, just coming to life in itself.
Yeah, it's a really touching song. I mean, when I listened to it, it's like, wait a minute, I'm not listening to this right. Like, wait a minute, let me go back, because
Yeah.
it's Lyin, and it's like, okay, I get it, and I've
Yeah,
been through that a couple times.
yeah, I feel like we all have, it's easy for us to kind of, just skip over the bumps and just not, not look at them and just want to find, happiness. So, um, it's a hard spot to be in for some people.
Yeah. Well, thanks for writing it. I think it kind of helps those of us who have been there,
Yeah.
and feeling
I-
good about ourselves, and if we moved
Yeah.
on,
Well,
and
I think,
hoping we didn't.
yeah, and people, it's like it's a very, vulnerable thing for people to even, admit that, they can look over, this and this just to be happy. And it's something we all fall into, and something we all do because we crave that, we crave to be with people, and we crave, companionship. And
Mhm.
so, but yeah, no, I appreciate it so much. I'm so glad you like it.
Yeah. So I read that you were born in Georgia, and but you grew up in Kentucky, Augusta. How was that?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I was born in Athens, Georgia, and when I was about 4, we moved to Kentucky, and I was raised there pretty much my whole life. So not a whole lot of memory of Georgia, but I do have a few in there. But I love where I grew up. Small town. Graduated from the smallest school in the state of Kentucky,
Wow.
um, smallest public school. Yeah, and so it was there was, I think, 27 people or so in my class, which was a small group, but it was a close group, and we were close with our teachers, close with our community. Everybody was there for each other when anybody was in need. And for me getting my start to where I am now, I really am so thankful for that small community drive that really pushed me. They are nothing but blood, sweat, and tears supporters, I'm telling you.
So let's talk about you as a songwriter. What's the first song you remember writing?
Uh, you know, the first I started writing songs when I was about 11 or 12, and they were gospel songs actually for our church. Um, but my brother passed away when I was 12, and he was 2 years younger than me. He was 10. And that's when everything kind of took a shift. It went from doing it because I enjoyed it to, doing it because like there's a reason I'm doing this to get my thoughts out. Like this is my cope. And I remember when my brother passed away, I just went in my room. I'd only been playing guitar for a couple years, and I just remember sitting there, and these words were just like riling up off my chest. They were just coming right off my tongue. And it was all these feelings, and that's what made me love country music. Like when I was able to sing that, at my brother's funeral, um, people related. Somebody else experienced somebody passing, somebody else lost a brother, somebody else lost a dad, And so, those are like, again, like I say, those vulnerable moments to where that was my coping mechanism. That's what was, helped me get my help. And so that's when I was like, country music is storytelling. That's all I am, is a storyteller. That's all I've ever wanted to be, is a storyteller. And because I think, when people relate, it hits you different. It's real. And so that's kind of when I started writing.
So, condolences for the loss of your brother. Oh,
Oh, thank you.
you know, um, there was, Vince Gill had his song that he wrote, "Go Rest High on Your Mountain," and that was about his brother passing, and he didn't record it till long after. Do you think that would be something you might share for, a lot of people have lost loved ones this past, 2020 with the COVID, and do you think that's something you might bring for all of us to?
Yeah, it's like right now, like in my career, I think, with all the tough things we've all gone through, I feel like the best thing I can do right now is try to lift people up and excite them. But I think there's definitely a time in my career that'll come to where I'm gonna want to share that emotion with
Right.
people.
Yeah.
And I think that and I want to be able to make it a song, well, just hopefully that the song, itself will be able to give people that hope or that security, or just that breath of fresh air, because that's what people need over grieving. It's so tough, but yeah, I think it's definitely something that's going to be in the works one day.
So why don't you share with our viewers your road to Nashville? It's very interesting.
Yeah, it's it's a crazy story, man. It's been a wild 5 years. But I when I came here, I went to school for welding before I came here. So when I first moved here, I needed a day job. And it was kind of like going from a big fish in a little pond to a little tiny minnow in a sea. So, it was like starting all over, because in Kentucky, I was playing some stuff and getting some good momentum. And, it got me to Nashville, but I needed a day job. So I took a welding job and I was welding on all the skyscrapers, all the high rises, probably 700 feet up. And I was welding all the steel, walking the beams, and so it was. I did that for almost 2 years, and we would work 12-hour days, and then 6 to 6. I get up at 5, get off at 6, get home, take a shower, go back out, and I would play 3-4 hour shows all night.
Oh,
And
goodness.
yeah, I would go to networking events and meetings and songwriter rounds, and always just be playing shows, and after show long, span of hours. But there was a time there for a year and a half, 2 years, I was running on like 3 hours of sleep. And, it was just like, it was really hard, but like, I think that's the most thing I learned is like, I had to be willing to literally give everything to eventually get away from the day job of, 60 hours a week to do what I came here to do. And, so you see so many people that are just grinding and working so hard on this job to make ends meet just to do what they want to do. And that's such a thing that people, come in here learn so quickly. But it's been a crazy ride through all of that. So many things.
Well, I read that you also got Welder of the Year. So boy, you're amazing.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's funny you say that. It seems like a lifetime ago sometimes, but that was a good time. And yeah, we used to do welding competitions and when I was in trade school and stuff. And I had a great instructor, Adam Wallenford, who's still a great friend of mine and supporter today. He's helped me tremendously, especially to get that job.
Wow, that's great. So what was it like to perform with Phil Vassar? He's one of my favorites.
Really? Yeah,
Oh,
right.
I love him.
Oh, Sunshine of Paradise. That's a man. Phil's great. He was such a sweet, just down to earth, humble guy to me. We did a show with him in Covington, right near Cincinnati, on the border of the river there. And yeah, I got to open up a show with him, and it was such a cool thing because at this point in my career, I had just started singing at the little bars and clubs, and was playing the little dinner venues and at church. And so then, I got the opportunity to, open for Phil Vassar. And I was like, this is what? This is crazy. I'm like 18. So it was fun though. We got to go in and pull next to his bus, and they treated us like family, and we're just the greatest people. And so that was a pretty cool highlight from, back home.
Oh yeah, he's a funny guy too.
Oh, he is. Yeah, he's a character. I'm telling you, that guy is
A
he's got
mile a minute.
he is. He's got energy, and man, he can play that piano.
Can he? Oh my goodness. I said, you're gonna do it upside down.
Oh, it wouldn't surprise me. He's all over that thing. He's jumping up and down on it and turning around
Yeah.
backwards.
We had a bar out here, Toby Keith bar in Rancho
Oh,
Cucamonga.
nice.
Yeah, and he came out here, so I got to go out and interview him and hang out, and it was a whole lot of fun. We
Oh, I
talked
bet that
about
was
his kids,
wonderful.
and yeah, it was great. I
He's
think
like
I
a
was
great
there a
guy.
couple hours just yakking. It was pretty funny.
That's so cool. I never met him, but he seems like, I love his music. Great guy.
That's
But,
great.
but yeah, Nashville's been crazy. It's a lot of a lot of amazing things happen. A lot of blocks in the road, a lot of walls that were super hard to climb over. A lot of
Yeah.
days, things you're trying to get through. But it brought me here, and here we are, and we've got this amazing project coming out, and so many wonderful people reaching out to us about it and helping to push it and to promote it and share it. And man, it brings me so much excitement.
So what have you been doing during the last year of this pandemic?
Well, so that's what we when the pandemic started, shows started going down, and I wasn't playing out as much. And I was really like, okay, like I can't waste this time. So that's when we started recording everything. We started recording, the music for the single Lyin and getting the video content, started up, and the photo shoots and the websiting, and we just tried to get all the assets together and really start this whole project to get it out. We felt that it was time, after many years of me really laying the groundwork, that it was time we show people what's been going on. And so it was just an all hands on deck. Me and several of my buddies, we were all just on deck working every day trying to get the music, the content, the socials, everything for the whole branding, just together to make this happen. So we took advantage of it, and I think the people that have been taking advantage of the downtime are definitely gonna, be rising up. I feel like there's so many people that just have used this time to work, work, work. And so when touring opens back up, hopefully, one day here soon, we can all get back out on the road and, let people hear this music. So it'll be nice.
So have you talked to your people about, when that might happen, going out?
Yeah, things are tough. We've scheduled some shows, and then they've gotten canceled, and then we've scheduled them again, and then they've gotten canceled. So really, just depending on what it happens between with COVID regulations and I'm sure vaccinations and things like that. Once they play into effect, things will probably, I'm sure, open up a lot more. So we're just trying to keep our fingers crossed right now, and I continue to hope within maybe the end of the year or so, or
Yeah.
we can maybe get some shows out there. So I'm just hoping and praying.
We all are. So as a songwriter, who is your dream songwriting partner? Do you have one?
There's a lot of guys that I really admire as songwriters. There's a guy named Wendell Mobley who has written a lot of hits for people like Rascal Flatts and Keith Urban and different people, and a lot of just sentimental songs for Kenny Chesney, like those old hits that you would just really just hit you right. And
Yeah.
he's somebody I've always admired. I've watched him several writers rounds and things over the years, and I never wrote with him, but I think he would be a cool person to collaborate with.
How about as far as singing? Do you have a duet, male or female you'd like to have a duet with?
Oh, well, I it's funny. I'm a very guitar driven guy. Guitar has always been my life. So if the day comes to do a duet with Brad Paisley or Keith Urban, I'm all about it. I'm ready to put the guitars to work.
Well, you should make that happen, because that would be awesome to see you with both of those guitars with those guys.
Oh,
We'll be
wouldn't it?
watching for that.
A dream come true. But I'm sure we've actually talked about doing some a duet, with a female eventually, and I think that would be a cool thing. I always love collaborating, and so I think that's something we're definitely going to have to get onto at some point.
I'd like to see and hear you do one with Dolly Parton. Wouldn't that be
Oh
awesome?
my, yes,
Oh,
the respect I have for that woman. I love her. She's what I try to aspire to be every day.
yeah, a songwriter, talented, a business person, and
Isn't
talented
it?
with music.
Yeah, it's so crazy when you see somebody's career have such a long lasting effect. Here she is, so many years, since the prime, and she just never lost it. And so it's so cool. I know that's such a hard thing for people to maintain, throughout songs and life, and just different roads that you take. And so it's cool to see somebody like that really stretch out.
Wow. Well, do you have any parting words for us today about your song or life?
Well, yeah, you know what? I'm so excited and thankful, like I said again, for y'all to have me on here. Everything, all the momentum and support from people have been just such a big blessing to me and my whole crew, and all of us that have put so much work into this for you all. And so we can't wait. And my video, music video for Lyin is going to be premiered on CMT tomorrow on the 25th. So I'm excited for that. And then it comes out Friday, so I can't wait for it to come out. I hope you all love it. Hope you go stream it. Hope you go share it and you enjoy it, and tell me what you think about it.
And how can our viewers find you?
So you can go to davidtuckerjams.com, and you can be able to see the link there to pre-order the song. Order the song once it's out Friday. All my socials are on there. Everything on socials is David Tucker Jams. So we're ready to jam and we're ready to get on the road.
Well, that sounds great. We'll make sure we put that in writing as well, all of your social media. So
Awesome. Well, we appreciate it so much. And again, thank you. And hopefully talk to you soon. And can't wait for the future to what holds it, you know.
all right, look forward to keeping up with you. So congratulations on the great new song.
Thank you so much, Judy. All right, take care and have a blessed one.
You too. Bye
Bye bye.
now.